And now it's time for our penultimate final of the 2023 Rotax Max Challenge Euro Winter Cup. It's the Senior Rotax Final. Let's have a look at your starting grid. On pole position, it will be Matthew Higgins, and alongside him, representing Hungary, will be Zsombor Kovács. Kai Hilletz and Austin Lee will be alongside each other on row number 2, with Archie Walker and Ethan Jeff Hall rounding out the top 3 rows. Completing the top 10, it's Colin Vajny, Vic Stevens, Gustav Zusakovs and Petra Babičková. Lewis Gilbert and Janis Diak will be on row 6, ahead of Tommy van der Sloys, Matti Sturlo, Camille McFarlane, Jod van Wyk, Alberto Hurtado, Tobias Clausen, Ollie Stevens and Angus Scrivener rounding out the top 20. Completing the 36-strong grid will be Sverre Ubben, William Christensen, Jules Roussel, Hugo Latorre Vega, David Outlechner, Henry Beaumont, Jens Christensen, Laurent Legault, Nevio Fischer, Montego Masson, Dion van Verven, Miska Kaskinen, Marcel Lecrie, Paul Hamburg, Devian Horst and Kai Hunter, due to start 36th. So, Van der Winkel cheering on for Kai Hilletz starting third. Caden McQueen again back in the chat. Glad to see you're enjoying some karting as always. Want to know when you're next out, so I'll have to watch and give you some support, Caden. Islam Pacheco wishing Petra Babičková, who will be starting on the outside of row number 5, the very best of luck. And Victor Volson giving a shout out, I think, to Jens Christensen in the 327, starting in 27th position. So let's see if the Dane can make some progress through the field. So the drivers will now get into their formation. Looks like we have gone underway. The timer has started counting down. As Higgins leads the field through into turns 1 and 2. Hilletz was looking up the inside, through on Kovács. As now they head into turn 5, it's 2 abreast. As Archie Walker trying to make his way up from 6th position. As Ethan Jeff Hall has made his way up into 5th place as they go down the corkscrew for the first time of asking. And Higgins already on the defensive. Kovács is trying to put the pressure on. Hilletz is trying to make something special happen. And now Hilletz up the inside. Great move using the curbing as well from Hilletz to take second from Zsombor Kovács. And look at the train, folks. That is pretty much the majority of the field. I think at least 20 carts were line astern. Now, here we go. Hilletz trying to put the pressure on Higgins. As up through into third goes Austin Lee on Zsombor Kovács. The 372 now factoring in to the sharper end of the field. And he's also got through on Ethan Jeff Hall, who's now up into 4th. Kovács down to 5th place, ahead of Archie Walker in the 391. Gustav Zusakovs and Lewis Gilbert now 8th and 7th respectively. Zusakovs trying to fend off the advances. Looks to be Janis Diak in the 339, as now we could have a change for the lead. We will have a change for the lead, and it looks like there's going to be a change once again. First and second now go to Kai Hilletz and Austin Lee. Matthew Higgins finds himself in 3rd position, and right behind him is Ethan Jeff Hall. Lewis Gilbert now trying to get onto attack terms to try and get past Archie Walker, who still resolves himself by holding on to 6th place. A lot better than the final last year. for the 391 based out of Billericay. And now Walker looking for the move up the inside of Kovac to try and get fifth. And now that's going to open the door for Lewis Gilbert. Or is it? No, Gilbert did not get through. Walker shut the door. "11 minutes and 20 seconds. And Gilberts is at the front of the field. New team, new motivation for 2023 for the 16-year-old from Tremelo in Belgium. Oh, drama down the middle straight, especially for the 344. Sverre Ubben from GKS was sideways and on the grass. And now further changes happening because Tommy van der Stroys, the 311 from the Netherlands, trying to battle away with Janis Diak. And that's the battle for P8. Up the hill once again, Gilberts continues to lead. Gap between him and Austin Lee is just over 0.3 of a second. So through into turn 12 once again, this time on lap number 4. 4 minutes down, 10 to go, plus an additional lap. A little bit further back, Miska Kaskinen has just made up another position. Devian Ross looks to be out of the race already. Kai Hunter is storming his way through the field. The Brit who started 36th, now up 12 positions, and we're not even 5 minutes into the race. Walker now going side by side with Kovac and gets through. That's a change for what is now 4th position. Matthew Higgins finds himself down in 7th. Oh, sideways for Janis Diak. There might have been a slight assistance from Tommy van der Stroys in 9th place. Great kart control from Janis Diak. I think getting himself ready for the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland season. And also, I think he said, well, when I spoke to him this morning, he said, yeah, I'm going to Barcelona very shortly. There's now a change for 4th place as Kovac neatly gets through on Archie Walker for 4th position through turn 12. Gilberts is starting to pull a gap. It was just over 0.3. It was just over 3.5 the previous lap. Let's see if he's done it again. He has. Nearly a 10th extended. Colin Vajny at the moment, who's 11th head of Petra Babičková, now sets the fastest lap. 1 minute 3.318. But the 366 these days based out of Bristol in the United Kingdom. As again, Janis Diak just bumping over the curbs whilst trying to battle away with Matthew Higgins. So still plenty of this race to go, but the top 3 have sprinted away into the distance. They were covered by they were covered by just over a second after 5 laps. Are about to complete lap number 6 of the race, and Gilberts continues to lead the way. Some battling happening between the likes of the 364 of Alberto Hurtado and Angus Scrivener. Scrivener, one of the people that managed to get through in the second chance heat, but the highest placed driver with regards to that looks to be Gustav Usakovs. And now we've got the likes of Matis Turlo embroiled in a battle. And Kai Hunter has got himself up into at least 19th position. I bet your bottom dollar he's going to be up in the top 15 at the very least, come the checkered flag. And now David Outlechner sets the fastest lap of the race. 1 minute 3.220 for the 365 from Strawberry Racing. So 35 drivers still circulating at this moment. Rounded out by the likes of Paul Hamburg in 33rd. 34th, Sverre Ubben from Belgium. And William Christensen. As we've got a yellow going up the hill. As someone was running a little bit slowly, I spotted just a second ago. Well, there is Kai Hunter, now currently sitting in 17th. He's about 8.9 seconds behind Camille McFarlane. Right, okay, incoming penalty for the number 345. Well, that's Devin Ross, who's out of the race nevertheless. So whether that was for possible jump start causing a collision or all four wheels out of the tram lines, I'll wait to have that ratified by by timekeeping very shortly. Rillert's comfortably doing the job at hand. Ethan Jeff Hall is getting ever closer. It's a new teammate for 2023, Austin Lee. He has been racing in the United Kingdom earlier on this year, most notably at Paul Fletcher International. He will be heading for the final round out of 4 for the Rotax Max Euro Trophy for 2023. 8th to the 10th of September for that round. And Angus Scriven is right in the middle of a scrap right now because he's got the likes of David Outlechner, who's just gone round the outside. That was an impressive move. David Outlechner round the outside of Mathis Turlo through turn number 13 and through turn 16. He dive bombs up the inside to take the position away from Angus Scrivener, which is for roundabout 17th or 18th place. Lewis Gilbert and Archie Walker continuing to battle over what is 5th place on the road. As we now had 10 minutes of the 14 minutes elapse. Willett starting to slightly pull away. And he put in a 1 minute 3.470, over a tenth and a half quicker than the driver behind, Austin Lee, the 1 minute 3.630. Ethan Jeff Hall running in the 103.5s. Yeah, Fearsome asking what happened to Kai Hunter. Unfortunately, Kai was involved in an incident in the opening, in the pre-final earlier on, which put him to the back of the grid. So he's had to fight his way back through the order. Still very close indeed for second and third position between Austin Lee and Ethan Jeff Hall. Coming towards the tail end of this race, as we see Petra Babičková ahead of Tobias Clausen, and there is a slow running and probably in some discomfort looks to be Nevio Fischer. I think might have been clutching the right shoulder so slightly there. So the number 336. He was running 29th. Gap still stabilising at around about 6 and a bit tenths of a second in the favour of the 374 of Belgium's Kai Rillert's. Zsombor Kovács, in the meantime, is caught up with Austin Lee and Ethan Jeff Hall, so the Hungarian could be in the mix with a couple of minutes remaining on the clock. So Jules Roussel has got past Miska Kaskinen for 22nd. Ollie Stevens now hits the top 20, getting past Laurent Legault from Canada. Tobias Clausen now has got past Petra Babišková for 11th position. There may be some further changes up and down the order over the course of the next minute and a quarter, plus additional lap as the field makes its way down the long back straightaway. And I've just spotted Kai Hunter is one position away from one of the best comeback drives this weekend. He was stone dead last, and he's not that far behind the driver in front of him, Gustav Zusarkovs, who also has fought his way through to the pre-final and the final. Made it through as the last driver to qualify through the second chance heat this morning at 10:40 a.m. But with Gilets now pretty much unassailable at this point, it's down to what happens for the remainder of the podium, because Austin Lee holds second, Ethan Jeff Hall holds third, Zsombor Kovács now goes for it through turn 17 and now takes third away from Ethan Jeff Hall to Zsombor Kovács. And what he needs to be doing with 2 laps to go is not doing that, because Ethan Jeff Hall is not going to give in to that one. He's not going to pay any attention to what Zsombor Kovács was saying, which is effectively saying, come on, right, let's move forward. Timer has expired. This and another lap to go. And Ethan Jeff Hall is not finished battling Zsombor Kovács quite yet. Wants to get an overall top 3 in this event. Knew it was going to be harder this season as a senior while still running as a junior over in the United Kingdom. But he's made the transition, just like Austin Lee has. They've both jumped up from juniors to seniors for 2023, and they have shown they have got pace. But now, out of the final corner, it's the last lap board that's seen first by Kai Gilets as it's side by side for third place. Echoes of Mansell v Senna in the 90s. But Ethan Jeff Hall gets through for third on Zsombor Kovács. They were wheel to wheel, millimetres, maybe even a couple of centimetres apart, but they still gave each other enough racing room and respect. Lewis Gilbert is now waiting in the wings. Look how close the Pride of Scotland has gotten to him over the last few laps. And now we've got a couple more time penalties coming through. 336 and 345 have been given a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. But now we focus the driver at the head of the field, who now moves in to turn number 16 for the final time here on lap 15. Last year, it was somebody else. It was Callum Bradshaw. This year, the Wintercup goes to Kai Gilets. New team, and straight out of the gate, the 374, the 16-year-old from Tremelo in Belgium, wins the Wintercup. And great respect from 2 former teammates. Consider this, both of them were last year at JJ Racing. Kai Gilets has had a very, very busy week. He was testing Porsches on Thursday, back here for Friday, early wake-up call. And this is what it means to him. Absolutely jubilant. And that means he punches his ticket to go for a title he was so close to winning last year. So Kai Gilets wins the Wintercup in Senior Rotax ahead of your 2 runners-up. Second, it was Austin Lee. Third, it was last year's Junior Wintercup champion and Euro Trophy champion, Ethan Jeff Hall. Zsombor Kovács and Lewis Gilbert make it 3 drivers from Kraft Motorsport in the top 5 overall. Well done to Tommy van der Stroys in 6, ahead of Janis Diak. Archie Walker, Matthew Higgins and Colin Vashni round out the top 10. Tobias Clausen, Vic Stevens, Petra Babišková, Camila McFarlane and Gustav Zusarkovs round out the top 15. Kai Hunter, back from stone dead last, made up 20 positions to finish 16th ahead of David Outlechner. Ollie Stevens, Angus Scrivener and Jules Roussel Mathis Turlo, Laurent Legault, Dion van Verven, Montego Masson, Hugo Latorre, Vega, William Christensen, Alberto Hurtado, Henry Beaumont, Jens Christensen, Sverre Ubben, Marcelo Cui, Jot van Wijk, Paul Hamburg, Nevio Fischer. We lost Miska Kaskinen with 3 laps to go, and Devin Ross did not even make it past lap 1. So the visors were down, the drivers were focused and primed for a pivotal moment this weekend, the senior Rotax final. We got under starters' orders under the windy sunshine here in Andalusia as the revs on the Rotax Max engines rose and we got underway. Matthew Higgins would lead the field into turn 1 as Kai Gillet's trying to make an early move on teammate Zsombor Kovac to get through. But this move through very later on that lap meant that Kai Gillet's would get past Zsombor Kovac and get up into second position. Gillet's would then go on to take the lead from Matthew Higgins, with Austin Lee also getting through on his Strawberry Racing teammates. A little bit later on, Ethan Jeff Hall then made it through to get past Matthew Higgins, as Zsombor Kovac would again try to get through on the 375. Archie Walker would also battle hard, but not being at the sharper end of the grid, battling for the latter part of the top part of the top 10. Janis Diak would also give his bit of flair over the course of the race, with Gilbert and Walker battling away. Then dramas for Nevio Fischer in the 336, having to retire, looking to be in some form of discomfort. Ethan Jeff Hall would then have a great race and battle hard against Zsombor Kovac, with both of them trying to get through and do one up on the other. But Kai Gillet's becomes your 2023 Senior Rotax Winter Cup champion here at Karting Campillos.